Hey guys, welcome back. So exciting episode this episode. Off camera, I built a little uh, mini pod that took Jebediah up to the high Kerbin orbital station, and we docked in there. And it has a little science container to bring all our science back. Basically, we're going to get our science back so we can get some cooler parts. So as we start to build this station, we can use better parts. So this episode is going to be about trying to get our MMS back from the moon and to see how close we can get. It's going to be a little difficult, I suppose. It's going to use a lot of fuel. Speaking of which, I can use this time. Oh, crap. Ugh, I accidentally throttled up there and we started spinning, but we took care of it. Shoot. Okay, so I'm going to use this time now to get all the fuel out, all the excess fuel out of this lander and our tanker. Get all this excess fuel into our MMS so we have as much delta V as we could possibly have on our trip back home. I think it's this one. Yes, 6 total. So what I'm going to do is put it all into the center tank. So in and in. And that was pretty quick. So let's get rid of these guys. I'm going to pin this one open. And then I think there was one tank in here. Yeah, there's one tank that still had some fuel. So we'll get that one out of there. Empty that one. And now we're looking pretty darn good. Now let's just go through and double check. 0, 0. All these should be 0. What I should do is take this monopropellant back all as well, because that will give us some extra delta V if we need it in a pinch. Although it'll be a slow go. All right, so those 4 open. It's about 14.5 each, so we're looking at 27.54. Looking at about 54 units. That one's 20, so we could fill this one up and another one, but then after that it's going to be fairly pointless. So yeah, we'll fill this one up, and then we'll fill another one up on the other side just to keep ourselves balanced. And I'll go through and make sure that everything is balanced. Because I did drain some from a few locations, and I tried to keep it balanced as I was doing it during our landing missions. Okay, so I already have all our Kerbals into the mothership. Which one did I do? I did that one. Yeah, so we'll do the front one on this side. So I already put all our Kerbals into the mothership, so I know we're good there. The key here is going to be planning a good exit maneuver from the moon, and then changing our plane so that it matches the station, which is going to be our biggest delta V burn. It really is. So we're going to want to. I can actually dump. Yeah, I guess I could dump the rest in here, huh? Yeah, let's just dump the rest into these because these are center mass. So the biggest delta V burn is going to be that change of plane, and that's probably where I'm going to end up failing, and I'm going to end up having to just circularize and get a shuttle out there to refuel enough so that we can go to the station. Okay, so we're done here, and now what I'm going to do is right here this says 668 meters per second delta V. I also want to see how I change this, because I brought it down a little bit, but that's okay. We can adjust it at a later date. Although I don't see me coming back to this station. We're gonna get so much science from this mission. It's not even funny. So anyway, we are going to undock, and I'm going to go through and verify one more time that I got my 5 crew members in their various locations. There's 2, there's 3 and 4, and there's 5. Okay, so they are all there. All my science, my 41 units of science, and then down here I have my 7 units right there. Judging, I think I lost one piece, and I don't know which one it was. I'm not going to fret too much about it, because it's not sitting in here. You see how there's no 1 right there like there is on this one. So I should have 42, but I have 41, and that is unfortunate, but it's the nature sometimes. I guess we must have lost it somewhere. We didn't grab it when we were supposed to. Okay, so planning this exit, it should take about 200-ish to 300-ish meters per second to get out of here. And that's all well and good. We have 668 meters per second calculated with the total shuttle, with the total mass here. So when I disconnect this, this number is going to go up. So as long as I'm under that, I'm good, and I'm pretty significantly under that with about 200 to 300. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get out of our influence, and I'm going to do so in kind of an odd way. Either way, I'm going to have to do a plane change. In order to minimize my plane change, I think I have to burn here. So we're going to place our maneuver node right about here. We're going to burn out. And I'm going to try, because this is pretty close to the plane already, I'm going to try shifting our orbit already on this burn. I don't want to burn much more than 400 or so meters per second, but that is making us pretty darn flat. So I'm going to keep going. What is our periaps? It's about 5 million. I don't think I'm going to change the plane much more from this point on. But But I can. So I can decrease this a little bit, because we're going to. So that one's pretty close there, but I don't want to get that close. And that's still only at 300. I think that we're going to be good here. So I'm going to go to about 1 million and try to flatten this as much as I can, but it doesn't look like I'm going to. So I'm just going to get us to about 1 million, and then I am going to plane change and circularize from there. I think that's going to be our best bet. And yeah, let's do that. I think this looks good. First, we got to undock. Well, we'll undock when we're a little bit closer. That way we don't run the risk of, running into ourselves. Now, like I said, this delta V down here in the bottom left, this total delta V on the ship, is going to increase as soon as I decouple. And we're going to see that happen now. At least it should. So undock. Yeah. So now we have about 1,400 meters per second in this vessel. I'm going to back away. I'm going to find our maneuver node. And there it is. Very nice. Okay, so everything's looking good. 1,400 meters per second. That's more than enough. We're not even going to have an issue. I will not have to refuel on this. It's calculating about a 17-second burn, so we want to start our burn at approximately 9.5 seconds. 8.5 seconds. So let's warp closer. And we'll say goodbye to this orbital station, like I said, I highly doubt we'll come back to it. There's really no reason to hit up the moon because we're going to get so much science on this. Next, we're going to Minmus. We'll do another big mission to Minmus where we can get all kinds of science, and then from that mission, we're going to start going to other planets. So we start a burn, and we're slowly getting there, And the good part is a lot of these pilots should all up in their skill level, which will allow me to set a hold on maneuver node function here in the top in the left, where here has hold prograde and hold retrograde. We'll be able to just hold a maneuver node instead, which would be pretty big actually. It makes for doing maneuvers much easier. All right, so we are officially heading back home with all this science. Okay, good. We're in our map view. I'm going to close this out, and this is our resulting thing, about a million meters or 1,000 kilometers up, about 500 kilometers above our target orbit. We're still sitting at about 1,100 meters per second. Should be more than enough, really, more than enough to bring us home. So things worked out pretty well for me, I do have to say. So I'm going to set this as our target just so I can see our ascending node, which doesn't look like it's going to calculate the ascending node until we're there. So let's get under Kerbin's influence, get away from the moon. I love the looks of these slingshots. It's just awesome to watch the orbital mechanics at play in this game. So there, we're going to set this as our target. Now we're going to have our descending node, which is damn near close to our periapsis. What I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust our orbit just a little bit to try to bring that periapsis and that descending node together. I want to do a small little burn to bring these together so that way I can do both burns at once. I can circularize and flatten at the same time. And that looks like it's going to do it. So what we're going to do is find our maneuver node. We're only 57 minutes away. Could you imagine being 1 day away from circularizing, so a couple other days away from being able to come home out in space? It's just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so we're going to fast forward. I'm keeping an eye on my clock down here. That's going to tell me my location, really. That's one big thing you have to realize is in orbital mechanics, you're not looking for XY coordinates so much as you're looking for coordinates in time. Your location around your orbit is in minutes and seconds. It's not in XY coordinates per se. This is one of the big things you got to get used to. Is that like right now we're 15 minutes away from our maneuver node. Damn. Okay, well, I just screwed that up. Fast forward too fast. Trying to talk too much. So we'll see if we can just recalibrate it here. I'm just going to burn through and kill this speed using RCS only so I can control where the maneuver node is pretty precisely. And looks good there. So I'll kill that, see how close we are. It looks like we got pretty close. Like I said, this game does a great job calculating the things we need. All right, so we got everything open here. Looks like we got a 19.2 deflection, about 1,200 meters per second. Perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in and bring up. Bring in and bring up. Now, we're at 12. The problem is that every time you bring your angle up, you're bringing your apoapsis out a little bit. And every time you bring it down, you're going to decrease your ascending node a little bit. So what you do is you try to find this little balancing point, and it just takes finesse and getting used to after a while. So I've done it enough times where I can just, it's not to say that I have a feel for it, it's more or less just understanding the mechanics of the game. So we're almost there at about a 0 deflection. And the reason why I'm using the moon as a target here is because I use the moon as a target for our orbital station. And that means it should be on the same plane, so if we match that plane, then we should be good. Although I guess I could have just targeted the station instead. But that's okay, we'll be fine. Okay, so I'm still trying to bring that angle down a little bit. And it looks like we're there, and we're pretty darn close to each other. 1,020 kilometers and then 1,047 kilometers. That's pretty much circularized. Looks like we're good to go, and we got 700 meters per second. Wow, I am glad we had a little extra fuel. So here we go. We're holding on the maneuver node, and we are just going to warp to here. All right. So things are going quite well indeed. Luckily, we had enough fuel, and you know, we're just taking our time going around this orbit here. So I'm not going to be bringing these guys home. I think I'll bring one of the pilots home. That way I can see what type of experience they're going to get and new skill sets. But and Jebediah will stay up with these guys for now anyway. And once I unlock this, I can unlock the bigger pods. And those bigger pods allow me to move more Kerbals at once without having to do a funky ship like I have for the MMS. And doing that, that's just going to be easier trying to get everybody home. So I'm going to wait. I'm just going to try to bring one person home, get all the science, unlock those bigger capsules, capsules, and that way we can go from there. And we have started our burn on time this time. And we have started our circularization. This is exciting, guys. This is one of the biggest missions I've done in a long time. I used to do missions like this all the time because I thought they were pretty fun. But KSP, you know, you once you do everything in KSP, it becomes pretty redundant. And you know, I kind of had especially with coronavirus, I had a new invigoration for it. So yeah, I mean, it's been great doing this and getting this big mission here, and I can't wait to do some more going forward. There's a lot of stuff that I never got a chance to do when I was really into playing KSP. Never quite got far enough before something happened and I wasn't able to continue the save. And hopefully we can get to those this time. All right, so there we are. We are circularized. We are ready to meet up with the HKO station. And from here on out, guys, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. And I'm just going to go to a time lapse to our docking. And I'll see you guys on the other side. over 2,000 science. We gathered 2,100 science. That is awesome. So I'm not going to go through and try to figure out which one I missed because it'll just make me angry. But you can see here that if it was a surface sample, we missed 120 science, which is pretty big. So yeah. Funds, we didn't get much in terms of funds. I mean, we recovered, but didn't seem to get plus 3 XP gained, but no new star. Reputation is up pretty high. But I thought we would get. How have we not returned to Kerbin from the surface of the moon? Well, anyway, guys, that's this episode. We made it home with all our science. We're going to unlock some new stuff, and we're going to build our space station a little bit more in depth, and then we're going to start thinking about Minmus. So thanks for watching again. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a good one.